Over the last century, we've embraced technology at an incredible pace. But with every leap forward, we've also left behind gadgets and devices that once felt essential to daily life. Let's take a nostalgic journey and rediscover the technology that shaped generations of Americans before it quietly disappeared. The pager, America's first mobile messaging. Before smartphones ruled the world, pagers were the ultimate communication tool in the 80s and 90s. These small devices buzzed and beeped their way into the hands of doctors, executives, and even teenagers. For many, owning a pager felt like having a superpower. You were always reachable. But once cell phones became widespread, the humble pager was quickly pushed aside. Today, it's a relic of a more disconnected, yet simpler time. The floppy disk, the symbol of early computing. Do you remember the unmistakable sound of a floppy disk drive? In the 1980s and 90s, these thin, square disks were the lifeblood of personal computers. Whether you were saving documents, transferring files, or playing a game, the floppy disk was indispensable. But as storage capacities grew and USB drives took over, floppies couldn't keep up. Now, they exist only as the save icon on your computer, a subtle reminder of how far we've come. Rotary phones, dialing into the past. Long before smartphones and speed dial, there was the rotary phone. With its distinctive spinning dial and clunky handset, it was the centerpiece of every American household for decades. The process of dialing a number was slow, and heaven forbid you made a mistake and had to start over. But as touch-tone phones and, later, cordless models appeared, the rotary phone quietly disappeared. Still, it remains a symbol of a time when phone calls were a bit more intentional and less frequent. The vacuum tube TV, the birth of home entertainment. Think back to the first televisions, massive, boxy devices that dominated living rooms across America. These vacuum tube TVs brought families together for nightly broadcasts, from the moon landing to the first sitcoms. But as technology advanced, tube TVs were replaced by sleek, flat-screen models. Still, the memory of gathering around a glowing screen for the evening news or a favorite show is one that many Americans cherish. The home icebox, before refrigerators took over. Before modern refrigerators became a staple of every kitchen, there was the icebox. This early appliance relied on large blocks of ice to keep food cold, delivered by the iconic Iceman. While revolutionary at the time, iceboxes were eventually replaced by electric refrigerators, offering more convenience and efficiency. Still, they remind us of an era when even keeping food fresh was a daily challenge. The camcorder, recording family memories. In the 1980s and 90s, owning a camcorder meant you could document family vacations, birthdays, and every awkward moment in between. These bulky devices often required special tapes and a steady hand, but they captured memories like nothing else. Today, with our smartphones doubling as HD cameras, the camcorder has faded into history. But for many families, those grainy, wobbly videos remain priceless treasures. The typewriter, the click-clack of creativity. Before laptops and word processors, writers, students, and office workers relied on the trusty typewriter. The rhythmic clack of keys and the satisfying ding of the carriage return were the soundtrack of productivity. While electric models prolonged their life, typewriters were eventually replaced by computers. Today, they're more of a collector's item, cherished by those who long for simpler, tactile tools. The hand-crank blender, manual mixing marvels. Before electric blenders became kitchen staples, the hand-crank blender ruled the countertop. These devices required a little elbow grease to whip up milkshakes or smoothies. While charming and simple, they couldn't compete with the speed and power of modern appliances. Today, they serve as a quirky reminder of an era when convenience wasn't always guaranteed. The Walkman, music on the go. In the 1980s, The Sony Walkman revolutionized how we listen to music. For the first time, you could take your favorite songs with you, whether jogging, commuting, or just relaxing in the park. With cassette tapes and lightweight headphones, the Walkman became a cultural icon. However, with the rise of MP3 players and later smartphones, this once essential gadget faded into memory, though it remains a symbol of personal freedom in the golden age of mixtapes. The manual washing board, precursor to washing machines. Before the invention of electric washing machines, people relied on manual washing boards. These ribbed boards required serious effort, with families scrubbing clothes by hand for hours. While they were eventually replaced by electric washers in the mid-20th century, washing boards remain a nostalgic artifact of a time when laundry was a workout. The film projector, movie magic at home. In the mid-20th century, families gathered around home film projectors to watch reels of vacation footage or favorite movies. These machines brought cinema into the living room long before VCRs and DVDs. While loading film reels and adjusting the focus required patience, the reward was a magical experience. Now, home projectors have been replaced by streaming services, but they once brought the silver screen closer to home. The car phone, mobile calls on the go. In the 1980s and early 90s, the car phone was the ultimate status symbol. It allowed business people and trendsetters to make calls from their vehicles, often through clunky, corded handsets. However, as mobile phones became smaller, cheaper, and more accessible, car phones quickly became obsolete. Today, they're remembered as a stepping stone to modern mobile communication. The slide projector, family memories in frames. Before PowerPoint presentations and digital photo albums, slide projectors were the way to share memories. Families would gather around in the dark to watch slides of vacations, birthdays, and holidays projected onto a wall. With their distinctive clicking sound and occasional upside-down photo, slide projectors were a staple of family gatherings. Now, they've been replaced by digital screens and cloud storage, but they evoke a time when sharing photos was a more deliberate event. The cassette recorder, portable storytelling. From recording mixtapes to capturing personal messages, cassette recorders were a versatile tool in the 70s and 80s. Many people used them to record radio shows, journal their thoughts, or even create homemade audio dramas. While cassettes have largely vanished in the digital age, they hold a special place in the hearts of those who grew up with their familiar whirring sound and occasional tape tangles. What gadgets or appliances do you remember using that are now long gone? If you enjoyed this nostalgic trip through history, don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the technology that shaped our world. Share your favorite forgotten gadgets in the comments below, and let us know what topic you'd like to see next.